ready with me while I tell you about why I love being visually impaired. When I was about 3 weeks old, my mother and father started noticing some eye issues with my eyes. They were moving back and forth and shaking and all that. So what my parents did is they took me into a doctor. I was diagnosed with congenital nystagmus, which means that my eyes move and shake back and forth. It affected me so much that the doctor recommended I go to a school for the deaf and the blind. So as a baby, I started attending their school in the parent-infant program. It was a big help for me and a big help for my mom. I learned so much and was able to hit my milestones, which I struggled doing because of my other disabilities. So that helped so much. And then when I was like around 3 or 4 years old, I started attending a preschool there, which was so fun. Got to make so many really, really great friends. And then when I was about 5 or 6, I stopped attending there in person and I got an outreach service teacher, which they helped me quite a bit. And then I didn't really get much involved with the School for the Blind further from that until I was about 14 years old. They had what's called White Cane Day, which is a specific day for people who are blind to go and meet other visual impairment kids, so people who have visual impairments. We got to go do many fun things. And White Cane Day was an absolute huge deal within the blind community, within my state especially. And every year it was held at a new location, which was always so much fun. One year it was at the zoo, and another year it was at like a children's museum or at the School for the Blind. They've had so many fun different themes to go along with it. And it's a huge deal because we all can know that just because we have blindness and visual impairment doesn't mean that we can't have fun. We can't do fun things and be celebrated. So White Cane Day is one of my favorite days of the entire year. It happened to be my first activity back with the School for the Blind when I was in the 8th grade. And then after that White Cane Day, I started getting involved more and more with the blind and visual impairment community. I went to an aquarium activity, which was super fun. And then things started to pick up more when I got to go to California to the Junior Blind Olympics trip, which was a blast. So much fun. But point to say, I have gained so many experiences and lifelong memories and even friends through the visual impairment community that I really wouldn't have had. I also am on the spectrum, so socializing and friendships and all that can be very difficult for me. And the blind and visual impairment community has gained me so many incredible friends that I wouldn't have had without my visual impairment. And then I've learned so much because of the School for the Deaf and Blind. I've gained independent living skills, social skills, recreation skills like budgeting, things like that. Things I wouldn't have gained otherwise without the School for the Deaf and Blind. I even had the opportunity my senior year of high school to go there in person in their residence program. It was so much fun and I gained so many things. I met my lifelong best friend there, which was incredible. That was great. Because of them, I've been able to live on my own, go to college, have a job, things like that. And now, in college, I have the opportunity to study visual impairment education just because of my visual impairment and how much the School for the Deaf and Blind has meant for me. I want to teach kids that just because they have a visual impairment doesn't mean that they can't live a fun and fulfilling and independent life. So those are my main thoughts about why I love being visually impaired. And don't worry, I will show you that once I get done with my makeup. Look, for church today, I'm wearing this dress I got from Old Navy. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what more stories